Alrighty, welcome back to Lower Alabama. This is Todd coming at you once again from the front porch here in Midtown Mobile. Not a lot to say today, no real chit chat, so we'll just get right to the beer at hand, which today it's Florida Man. We all know about Florida Man, don't we? Really, that's the reason I bought this one. I like the name, you know. I do like Cigar City Brewing. Brewing. That's who this is from. I mean, I didn't buy it just because it's named Florida Man, but it's kind of what, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back, you know, per se. But anyway, another thing that lured me to it was, we're still in the middle of summer here. Son of a bitch. You know, I'm just not even going to bother starting over again or edit it out. I'm just going to keep rolling with it. This is what happens when you're old. You know, I'm old as hell. You know, you just can't remember to do everything. But anyway, another thing that kind of steered me toward this one was it's an IPA, and we're in the middle of summer. It's freaking IPAs everywhere. And this one's 8.5%. It's a double IPA. So it's a bit of a whopper. But, you know, as I've said so many times on this channel, and I shouldn't even say things like that because, hell, I don't even, you know, I think I got less than 50 videos. I'm probably in the 30s maybe by now. I have more videos out probably than subscribers at this point, but generally speaking, if I like an IPA, it's going to be a bit higher ABV. And I can smell this one from down here. It smells really, really nice. It is a bit hazy. That's not just, you know, the frost on the glass, because it's actually quite pleasant out this evening. It's been cloudy and wanting to rain all day, and it's really made the weather, but the humidity's a bit lower. So one of my neighbors, you know, I do this on the front porch, so the street's right there. So, you know, it's just the price you pay. But anyway, so today was a pretty pleasant day. I mean, it's still hot, but out here right now, it's actually quite nice. This is, you know, it's pushing 7 p.m. on a Friday night. But this thing is super citrusy. I mean, the grapefruit on this one, a lot of these things smell, you know, on the nose are really grapefruity. But this one in particular, if I took a real lover of grapefruit and held this under their nose blindfolded, they would bet me dollars to donuts that they were smelling a grapefruit. This one is really, really citrusy. And you know what? It is also delicious. I mean, it's just delicious. Good grief. It's priced right too. For an 8.5%er, and I got 6. It's a 6-pack. I think it was $10.99. When you deal in these craft beers, $8.99 to $12.99, you know, that $9 to whatever dollar mark is generally what you're going to pay for a 6-pack. But I live in the land of drink less, drink better, you know, generally speaking. But when you're old like me, if you drink a lot, it just hurts, you know. So, but I do still really enjoy it. And so, I mean, this is one that I'll probably keep from here on. I have a list of IPAs that I really do enjoy, even though I like to get on here and say I don't really like IPAs. Wow, that one's really good. The hop on this one is nearly, aside from the citrusy hops, is really non-existent up front. It's just citrusy. It's orangey and grapefruity. I mean, it's so citrusy. There's a tiny little bit of that you know, candied sweetness that you get from a lot of malt to make it a double. It's just behind all that citrus. It's what kind of makes it jump from being just grapefruity up to orangey, tangerines and satsumas and that kind of thing is in there. It's really good. And the bittering hops, they come a bit later, like I'm getting them right now, and it is piney and rosiny on the backside, and that's fine. Generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of the rosin and pine and all that in an IPA when that's up front, when it just punches you in the face as soon as it hits your tongue. That's just the kind of thing that I don't go for. You know, I guess that's more the California style. I don't know. Since I quit brewing several years ago, I don't really keep up with, you know, what makes this style, what makes that style. Maybe I'll do a little homework on that and we'll talk about it one day. I do know that I enjoy the New England style IPAs, the juicies and the hazies. I like those far better than the clear, really pretty California styles that are just over the top, piney and rosiny. But let's get back to this discussion. I'll show you guys the color of this one. It's not a, I mean, it's orange. It's a pale orange. So it's not one of the darker blood orangey colored affairs. But this is super refreshing. The problem with this thing is it's 8.5%. It's not drinking like it's 8.5%. This thing's probably drinking like a 6, you know. And I think we all know what can happen when you get into that kind of situation. Is 3 or 4 later, you're thinking, you know, I might have just made a mistake here, and then you're out for the count. I mean, I'm a bit of a lightweight. People think I drink constantly all the time because I drink craft beer. I talk about it some with friends, and do these silly little videos. But what people don't understand is I put up a video or so a week if I'm lucky. I wish I could get 2 a week. Would be that's what I'd like to be doing. But hell, you know, I work, and we just moved into this new home, and I'm in the process of building. I just finished a walk-in closet, and I'm building a bathroom, and all that was from scratch. I got a wet bar to build, and then a patio. You know, when I come home, I'm jumping on that. I decided to take tonight off from working here after I get home from work and relax a little bit. Might even, after we have a little dinner, me and the wife might take the little pup, the new rescue pup, Sophie, and go have an adult malted beverages downtown at this really cool grocery store, Grizz, as we say here in the Deep South. Grizz, it's Greer's. They got a really cool rooftop bar, big outdoor seating area. The weather's comfortable, totally pet friendly, and we're trying to, you know, socialize the little dog. We've taken her out a few times, and she's been really great. But she's an energetic little thing, and we haven't had one of those in a long time. So, and we're both old, so, you know, it is what it is. But she's just a little sweetheart. Now, Cigar City Brewing, why do I keep saying that? They're in Tampa. They have a tap room down in Ybor City. And if you ever get the opportunity to go visit Tampa, Florida, be sure you go down and spend a little time in Ybor City. That's where all the nightlife is. If you're not into the cigar thing, there's plenty of cigar shops if you are. They're easy to avoid if you're not. You know, heavily influenced by Cuban culture there, so that kind of, the food is great. Tampa's a fun place. It's kind of overlooked as far as, you know, the tourism thing goes. Now they have the Cigar City gets its name because pre-Cuban embargo, there was a boatload of cigars rolled in Tampa. We brought in, shiploads of Cuban tobacco, and it was rolled in down in Ybor City. That's where all the factories were. And at the time they were called clear Havanas. I don't know where the term clear comes from. I didn't do that much homework. I used to be a really heavy cigar smoker. But I smoke, it's pretty occasional now. But like things like Have a Tampa, I know everybody's seen those old boxes, Have a Tampas and all that. Those back in the days of the clear Havanas were really nice cigars. However, they're just junk today. It's a waste of a good match because American tobacco, we just don't take care of it. We don't handle it right. Whatever your thoughts and feelings are on tobacco use, that's fine. Everybody has their own thoughts on it. You're never going to hear me claim it's good for you, and that's why I am a very occasional cigar smoker now. But there's a big difference between the hand-rolled cigar versus, with tobacco that's been fermented and aged and taken care of like you would for a hand-rolled cigar from a cigar shop versus like a Have a Tampa or something, and cigarettes that are just chopped and they put them in those, I don't even know what you call them. It basically looks like a shipping container with a gas furnace on one end to speed everything up. It's awful stuff. It's just terrible. But neither one of them are good for you. So we'll leave it at that. But there's a strong and long history of, quality cigars coming out of Tampa. That's where the Cigar City name comes from. And Ybor City had all the factories in the U.S. and a lot of those old buildings in Ybor City have been revamped and turned into, bars and restaurants and things like that. And it's a great place to go visit, as is the rest of the city. So I guess I'll drop the history lesson at this point and get another pull on this delicious IPA. If you see Florida, if you see Florida Man that's outside of the headlines of somebody that's done something really friggin' stupid, grab some if you like IPAs. And one of the things I've kind of forgotten to do is mention and talk about whether or not a particular beer is good for somebody that's just jumping off into the craft beer game, or if you've been in it and you're looking to, for things that are new and you're afraid of IPAs. IPAs are not, they're just not friendly for somebody just dipping their toe off into craft beer. They're just not. They're big and bitter, and I don't even like the term, acquired taste. I don't get that. You like something or you don't. Now your tastes change over the years, but you can't, just pound something down and just hate it until you like it. That just doesn't work. But if you are new to the craft beer game, this, tread lightly, but you could try this. If you're just starting to enjoy IPAs, this would be a great double to jump off into. But like I've mentioned, be careful with this thing. It's 8.5%. So I've rambled on about everything long enough, and I need to get in here and think about getting out of my work clothes, and if we're going to go enjoy a beverage downtown. So we'll do what we always do. If you've tripped over the channel, like and subscribe. Double like, triple like, all that stuff. Just hit that like button. It's the red one. No, it isn't. It's the little beep like that. The subscribe button is the red one. How about hitting that one too? I had a whopping 31 subscribers a few days ago. Baby steps, maybe 100 at some point here in the future. I'm not looking to turn this channel into anything that ever does anything other than it's just something that's fun to do. It's a bit of a diversion from my normal day. to sit down and have a beer, talk about it. And you know, if you watch my videos, you know I'm not putting a lot of effort into editing. I just clean up the front and the back and that sort of thing. I'm not going to build a set. Eventually, when I get done with my patio, which will be straight through there, you know, I have 2 options for recording. But anyway, again, I've rambled and rambled and rambled. Everybody have a good weekend. This is your old buddy Todd. I am out. And please enjoy your adult malted beverages responsibly.